At tight end, I've got a streamer sleeper for you, and that's Pat Freiermuuth. And listen, it could be Freiermuuth, it could be Jonnu Smith, it could be Darnell Washington, but one of these Steelers tight ends is going to put up a big game, and maybe two of them against the Cincinnati Bengals. The last time Freiermuuth played Cincinnati, he scored over 28 points, and no team in the National Football League has given up more fantasy points per game to Cincinnati, and it's not even close. So stream Pat Freiermuuth, and I also like Cade Otton, and he's a player I told you to play last week, and he's been on fire. 10-plus points in 4 of his last 5 games. He had over 17 points last week. And while the matchup against Buffalo is not great on paper, remember, no Chris Godwin in this game, and Otton's going to continue to see targets from Baker Mayfield. So I'm going to ignore the matchup. I'm going to play the volume, and I'm going to start Cade Otton. A couple of tight ends that I'm fading this week, and I'm going to start with TJ Hockenson, who I told you to fade last week. And this isn't even about the matchup, because the matchup this week is good against Chicago. But Hockenson has been held to single digits in 4 of his last 5 games, and he's averaging fewer than 4 targets in games started by J.J. McCarthy. That's a problem. So even though it's a good matchup, I am concerned about TJ Hockenson. And I also don't love Dalton Schultz. And I told you to play him last week. He had a huge game, over 18 fantasy points, and he's now scored 11 or more in 4 of his last 5. But look at the matchup. I get it. The Titans are a bad team, but they have only allowed 2 tight ends to score more than 9.3 points against them. And that includes Tyler Warren twice, Hunter Henry, and Schultz back in week 4. So I think you could find a better tight end this week. I would fade Dalton Schultz.